Hello and welcome to Kent Tonight Live here on KMTV. I'm Ollie Leader and here are your top stories on Friday, the 12th of September. Abusers behind bars. Rapist of 12-year-old girl sentenced in Canterbury. A sticky situation. Maidstone Council receives huge grant from government to tackle chewing gum scourge.
If you look at the bottom of the hill, which hasn't been cleaned yet, you can see that it's in quite a state.
And 5 acres on air as a special needs school in Maidstone launches a new radio station.
It built their confidence and their self-esteem, and we're really looking forward to our next visit.
Well, first this evening, 3 men have been sentenced to nearly 2 decades in prison for sexually assaulting a 12-year-old girl in Folkestone and Dover last year. Kevin Horvath, Ernest Gunnar and Ivan Turtak were put behind bars in Canterbury Crown Court earlier today, with the judge stating the impact of their offending has been profound. I went down to the court earlier to see the sentencing for myself, but a warning, some viewers may find this report distressing. Tears and strong emotions here in Canterbury Crown Court today as 3 men were sentenced for drugging and abusing a 12-year-old girl in Dover and Folkestone last year. The court heard how the 3 men, Ernest Gunnar, Kevin Horvath and Ivan Turtak, subjected the girl to what was described by the prosecution as a campaign of rape over 3 days, which began when she was lured into a car in an Asda car park last August and saw the victim forced into degrading sexual acts and being drugged with cannabis and crystal meth. Fighting through the tears, her mother, who we cannot identify for legal reasons, outlined today how her daughter had become a shadow of her former self, without friends, removed from school and scared to leave the house. The Slovakian nationals responsible were convicted in June after a jury rejected their claims that the victim was a willing party and had lied to them about her age. And it was during the trial that Horvath and Gunnar laughed when giving evidence. All 3 had previously pled guilty to several offences. Now the 3 men collectively face 53 years behind bars, with Mr. Turtak and Mr. Horvath being sentenced to 17 years each, while Mr. Gunnar faces 19 years in prison for his role in the abuse. But despite justice being served, the lasting damage won't go away, as the victim said in her own impact statement read out in court. She keeps having nightmares about what happened, stating, "I don't feel like the same girl anymore. I just want to be her again. I hope that I will be her again." And if you've been impacted by anything in that report, you can contact the NSPCC helpline on 0808 800 5000. And if you're over the age of 16, you can contact the 24/7 Rape and Sexual Abuse Support line on 0808 500 2222. Now, CCTV footage has captured the moment an angry pensioner purposely drove into a pedestrian in Who. Hans Anthony Fowler, a resident in the area, wrongly believed the victim was trying to harass him, provoking him to drive his car into the senior citizen. The incident caused the victim to have ligament problems, and after nearly 2 years, he is still being treated for his injured knee, with the victim and his wife moving house to avoid his attacker. Mr. Fowles took an early guilty plea and has been placed on a 12-month community order. However, has not been banned from driving since him and his wife have mobility issues. Now, after repeated arson attacks and antisocial behaviour, the St John Fisher School in Chatham has been ordered to be demolished. Medway Council, along with emergency services, has asked owners to take down the site that has become a magnet for antisocial behaviour for more than 3 years. The derelict building was hit by multiple fires and called for a large firefighter response several times. A letter sent to the owners reads, the site retains a persistent source of nuisance to the public, and we urge you to take immediate and meaningful action to prevent further harm. Now, the annual Maidstone Marler Festival has been cancelled due to a risk posed with the high wind speeds forecasted to hit Kent soon. The family-friendly event was set to take place this weekend on Sunday. However, the yellow weather warning in place for dangerously high wind speeds, the directors of the event have had to cancel. They state this is one of the hardest decisions they've had to make. It would not have been safe or practical to proceed. Hosted by Cohesion Plus, an arts charity, this year would have been the 22nd year running. And we spoke to Govinda Sandar to find out more.
I can't stress enough how difficult a decision it's been. I've been toying with it for the last couple of days. And it was really just this morning, Friday, that we had to make that final decision because obviously artists wanted to know we had to travel, suppliers we were going to start setting up tomorrow. So it's not something we've done lightly. We're very passionate about the Maidstone Miller. We know the community is very passionate about the Maidstone Miller. But ultimately, health and safety always got to be our priority. And, looking at the apps, looking online, but also taking guidance from a kind of partners and colleagues. Reluctantly, we've had to make that decision. It's going to have a significant impact on us from a funding point of view, because a lot of money's already been laid out, in preparation for the Miller. So yeah, we'll have to just put this one down to being one of those things.
Now, there's a sticky situation in Maidstone as well at the moment as the council are cracking down on people dropping their chewing gum. We sent our reporter Holly Spires to the High Street to find out what the government are doing to tackle the growing issue.
Who knew that just a single piece of chewing gum had such a negative impact on our streets? Well, a £15,000 grant from the Chewing Gum Task Force administered by environmental charity Keep Britain Tidy is helping Maidstone Borough Council clean up gum and reduce littering across the town. Maidstone is just one of 52 councils across the UK to get the grant and one of only 2 chosen for a special behaviour change programme.
When we came into office last year, it was on a wave of annoyance from the public about the state bar streets. If you look at the bottom of the hill, which hasn't been cleaned yet, you can see that it's in quite a state. Chewing gum is one of the hardest things to remove. It's persistent and it really brings the tone of a place down. We applied to the government for a grant which comes originally from the chewing gum companies themselves, but is administered by DEFRA and Keep Britain Tidy. We applied for £15,000, got £15,000 to actually do the clean-up work. It's a growing problem. People just, a small minority of people just don't seem to care about the environment they're in. So when we came in, we made it quite clear that we are going to put and are putting more resources into enforcement.
According to Keep Britain Tidy, gum stains cover 77% of England's streets, costing councils millions a year to clean up. With that being said, I decided to give the clean-up a go myself.
We put a bid in at the beginning of the year. First time we put a bid in, and we were successful. We got all the money that we asked for. And then on the back of that, we were also selected to do, as one of only 2 councils out of the 52 that were chosen throughout the country, only one of 2 that were selected to do extended evaluation and monitoring. What that's going to do, it's going to really drill down into behaviours. So a company called Behaviour Change have sponsored all of the signage that you can see here, and they work quite closely by looking at control zones, looking at counting. They come out, they count the amount, they count each piece of chewing gum on the floor, and then we clean it, and we've been cleaning for the last 2 weeks. So the lads that you can see in the town are now cleaning with we purchased chewing gum machines on the back.
As you can see, the men here have been working hard for the last couple of days, clearing up the gum on our streets. Now you could be fined up to £250 for just littering.
So, Maidstone's message is clear. Enjoy your gum, but don't let it stick around. Holly Spires for KMTV in Maidstone.
Something to bear in mind next time you're out and about on the streets of Maidstone and other towns in Kent. But it's time for a quick break now. But coming up, we'll be speaking to Matt Ramsden from Kent Online. He's a senior editor over there, and he has more about an award they received last night. It's very impressive. And we learn more about a brand new radio station here in the county. It's a brand new project from 5 Acre Woods School in Maidstone, and it's going to be a very interesting piece indeed. But grab yourself a coffee. Come join us in a few minutes' time. And if you want to catch any news, you can go on Kent Online as well. But first, we're going to go to the weather. And the weather this weekend, it's a bit miserable. You can see lots of rain, a bit of sunshine peeking through, temperatures around 13 degrees. Summertime's well and truly disappearing. 13 degrees up in Margate, those temperatures kind of sitting around there. But by the afternoon, temperatures rising to around 17 degrees, slightly heating up. But it's going to be a bit of a wet and windy weekend. Yellow weather warnings, 19 degrees. Get a raincoat with you. So not the most exciting weekend for the weather, but if you get yourself a raincoat, as I said, or an umbrella, you'll stay nice and dry. Anyway, it's time for a quick break now. Go grab that cup of tea you've been longing for. We'll see you very soon. The Kent Politics Show. Hello and welcome back to Kent Tonight, live here on KMTV. And now, a man who robbed over £1 million worth of watches from a shopping centre in Dartford has been locked up. A shop in Bluewater was a target for a planned burglary attack, with the man stealing over 150 watches. Our reporter Holly Spires has the story.
A burglar who successfully stole high-value watches from a retailer in Bluewater has now been jailed. During the evening of the 7th of February 2025, David Bison travelled to the shopping centre in a Mercedes GLA, displaying cloned number plates and driven by a criminal associate. After gaining access into the building by climbing onto the roof, he then went on to steal 150 watches worth over £1 million. On the 12th of February, Bison of Maitland Drive, Harlow, was tracked down in Penrith, Cumbria and arrested.
Last Friday, the 7th of February, at around about 8:30 in the evening in the Bluewater shopping centre in Kent. What can you tell me about that burglary?
No comment.
Okay. Did you commit that burglary?
No comment.
Do you have any knowledge at all about that burglary?
No comment.
Bison was charged with conspiracy to commit burglary and was remanded to prison. He was sentenced to 6 years and 1 month in prison. Kent Police said this burglar bypassed a sophisticated security arrangement and thought he had escaped detection. His confidence was misplaced, however, and some dogged investigation assisted by both the business he had targeted and the Bluewater security team ensured he was tracked down. Holly Spires for KMTV.
Now, last night, the winners were announced for this year's Future Media Awards at the Hilton London Bankside. And Kent Online, our sister publication, was named the regional website of the year, which follows their recent win of being named the county's best website at the Kent Press and Broadcast Awards. So how do they do it? I caught up with Matt Ramsden from Kent Online to find out a bit more. Well, senior editor Matt Ramsden joins me now. Matt, how did it feel to win that regional website of the year award?
Absolutely fantastic, Ollie. It was great. We had such a great time last night, and so grateful to the judges, and yeah, delighted, absolutely delighted.
So why is it so important that a local website such as Kent Online has been recognised in this way? Does it say something about the state of local news?
I think so. I mean, it says a number of things. The state of local news across the UK is nowhere near as prosperous and as well run as it used to be. Everybody knows that. But we've worked hard to maintain our standards and to build on what we do year in, year out. And to be named the best website in Britain is just, fantastic. Although you never go into these things thinking you're definitely going to win. We definitely went into it thinking we've got a chance, we're going to be there or thereabouts, because the quality of our work and the depth of our coverage and the manner of our commitment is so great that I thought we'd stand a good chance.
Because what do you think helped you guys clinch this award last night?
I do think it is the depth of our coverage. While a lot of media across the landscape have rolled back their coverage over the years, we have tried to maintain quality standards and coverage of all sorts of things, from councils to courts to the traditional human interest to the schools. We've kept on doing the basics and doing them well, and I think that's been recognised.
And can you describe what the feeling was like in the room last night? What was it like being there up in London?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it was a big event organised by the Press Gazette. So you had a lot of regional titles like ourselves, but you also had the national titles like the Telegraph and Sky News and the Guardian and the Times. So it was a great event. It felt great winning. I can't say how it felt for our competitors not winning, but we've been there over the years ourselves. So I promise you that winning is a lot better than not winning.
And my last question, Matt, where does Kent Online go from here? How are you going to clinch that award again this time next year?
We'll keep doing the basics well, Ollie. We'll keep covering those things that I've mentioned. We'll keep our commitment to Kent, and we'll make sure that all our staff are doing their very best for our readers. We are really working hard to give the best news service possible in the county, and we are trying to persuade people to support us by subscribing to Kent Online Premium. Well, they'll get a faster loading service, some exclusive stories, and soon we're going to be rolling out some reader offers, which will only be available to people who subscribe. And to subscribing is easy. You just go to kentonline.co.uk/subscribe, and you can find out all the benefits there, and you can help us remain as the UK's best regional news website.
There you have it, your award-winning coverage from across Kent. You know where to find it. Thank you, Matt. It's not just Kent Online with a great website, though. You can head to kmtv.co.uk to find all our wonderful reports, including this one about the Medway Neurological Network celebrating its 10th anniversary.
The Medway Neurological Network is celebrating its 10th anniversary, showcasing its latest innovations over at the Medway campus.
We have our Neurotech 25 event today. We are celebrating 10 years of being formed and carrying out events over the years to promote the public's understanding and knowledge of neurological diseases. At the moment, we have 6 in 100,000 people within the UK who suffer with a neurological disease. And of course, with that person, there is very often a partner and family supporting them.
What it does for the residents of Medway is it brings all the technologies that are currently out there, and you'll see from the number of stands that are there and people demonstrating, into one place, because it can be quite a minefield to understand what is exactly out there. And if you don't know it's out there, how do you ever know to look for it? It enables people to come and listen to the advancements. You've got a lot of experts talking, but also they can go and play with equipment, they can talk to people in similar circumstances, and they can be signposted through what can be a really, really difficult time.
The tech on display includes brain scan technology, educative tools, and software that's designed to help people with motor neuron diseases and many other health conditions.
We have an app called Lift, which is designed to make music therapy and music activities accessible to people who don't play a musical instrument. And we're concentrating on people who've got cognitive impairment. So we're working with people with autism and dementia, a number of other conditions. I think we've got about 4 pilot groups. It's going really well. We're continuing to do those pilot groups. Now we want to take it out into schools, into dementia groups, get it out there.
The stalls weren't limited to technology, though, as companies like Carers First, Parkinson's UK, and many more had stalls to raise awareness and support.
START is a disability outreach project. It includes a strong peer network, and we have a social media, and we run workshops as well. I found out about START through my emails, that it's a disabled-led program. I didn't know about START, but it was when I met other disabled students in the university who have autism, who have ADHD, who have a disability, and they have told me how much START has changed them as a person. Honestly, I just don't know what I would do without it.
Aiming to help others mentally and physically, the latest advancements in technology are no doubt shaping the future of the medical field in Kent. Kai Wei for KMTV in Chatham.
And finally, 5 Acre Woods School in Maidstone have launched their brand new project, Maidstone Radio 4-Wall. The radio station gives students, volunteers and community groups the opportunity to get hands-on experience working in radio, broadcasting and selecting songs to hosting the charts. So far, the radio station has received a positive response, as our community reporter Henry Luck has been finding out.
5 Acre Wood is making waves, radio waves. The special needs school has just launched a brand new radio station, bringing their voices and more to Kent.
I just need to be quiet because I'm standing outside the headquarters of Maidstone Radio for All. But luckily, I've been invited inside to take a look at this exciting new project.
This undertaking has been in the works for years, facing challenges such as the COVID-19 pandemic. However, it's finally arrived at the Maidstone Community Support Centre and will provide students with some incredible experiences on air.
They just loved being at the recording studio, being able to use the equipment, and also they loved listening to their programme back at school. It was a really good opportunity for them to use their oracy skills, and also it built their confidence and their self-esteem, and we're really looking forward to our next visit.
So far, Radio for All has become one of the pupils' greatest hits.
Definitely the first time I ever spoke on air, like introducing that Sam Ryder song and talking about the Eurovision and like how UK came second in that year, and just having a good time talking about it for the first time ever in Radio for All.
Can you remember what was your favourite part of your visit to the recording studio?
It was fiddling with the light switches.
And can you remember which song you presented live on air?
No,
it was quite a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I was year 6 and I'm year 7 now.
What's been your favourite part about doing this?
Probably telling everyone about where I'm going for my holiday.
With 5 Acre Wood delivering Radio for All, this scheme is looking to be a chart topper. Henry Luck for KMTV in Maidstone.
That's just incredible, isn't it? They'll be having my job very soon, I bet. Anyway, that's everything from Kent Tonight this week. We'll be back next week with more news from across the county. But later on, we'll still have an update at 8 p.m. But from now, from me, good night.